Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of My Brand New Homes, brought to you by Next Home Kel Mitchell. I am your host, Stephanie Mills, and in previous episodes, we brought in production home builders to address what goes into that specific process. But today, we're switching gears and addressing custom home building and floor plans specifically. So our special guest in with me today and talking to you is Briana Hall, the owner and founder of Wilder Roots Design. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited.
What a beautiful picture we have. If you can see it, I know those who are tuning in on YouTube and on the visual side of it, you can see Briana there with Wilder Roots Design. So go ahead and first talk about you, of course. Why you're here today is, of course, to address the home building process, how you got into that, and then, of course, your company, Wilder Roots Design.
Yes, well, thank you. So where it all began, I went to interior design school at the University of Alabama, and then my husband graduated first, so then he moved over to Chattanooga, which is
also a beautiful city, too.
Yes.
Growing like Huntsville is.
Oh, yes. So that's where we currently live right now. And because he moved first, then, I went after him, and then I had to just find whatever. But I wound up finding a job with a residential home builder. And so I worked in-house with them for 4 years. Literally, when I started, there were 7 of us. And when I left, there were like 45 of us.
Oh, wow. So it really grew in that time that you were there.
Yes. Oh gosh, it was crazy. So I helped really build from the ground up all of their floor plans, their exteriors, and so I got to the point where I was like, wait a minute, like
you're good at this.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and so it was just like, I can do this for like other builders. So I took the chance and went out on my own. It also helped that I have a 2-year-old now, but at the time I had a 9-month-old. Okay. And I was like, well, I'd love to have more of like that freedom of just being able to, if he's sick or whatever, just take off. So
flexibility.
It just worked out for our family. And my husband was like, okay, let's do it. So I did it. And that was September of 2019.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So your business is fairly new, but you have so much experience packed into that it's kind of like it just rolled into it well.
It did. And I was very fortunate also with the builder that I worked for. I got to meet a lot of people in the industry.
So you have the contacts too.
Yeah. So I had some of the contacts, but I also like cold called like no one's business in the very beginning. Like, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
You got to do it.
Was literally about to say that. You took my phrase.
Yeah.
So you do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do. And then it was COVID hit. And I was very nervous at first, but then I feel like people got stir crazy sitting in their house, and they're like, oh man, like we got to do some stuff. And so then it came like flooding in, and it was just overwhelming. It was just crazy. So I'm very thankful.
And overwhelming in a good way.
In a blessing kind of way.
That's
like
awesome.
Something that I would have never been able to predict.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm excited for you in the future of Wilder Roots Design.
Me too.
So you guys at Wilder Roots, you do a lot for working with builders and clients. And so can you address the different things that is involved in that?
Yes. So we work with a lot of builders, and so most of them are custom, but I also have some that are production builders. So I can design like a floor plan. Okay. And then create 3 different exteriors for that one floor plan.
And I believe we have some of those we can show right there if you are watching right now. Those who are listening, of course, you can go to the Wilder Roots Design website to take a look at those or even contact us at Next Home or Briana with her company as well. But there we go. We've got one of them. Briana, do you want to go ahead and address that?
Yes. So this was actually a homeowner that came to me. It's one of the builders that I work with, but I worked strictly with the homeowner who was building the house. It was very custom. Okay. And she is actually a realtor in Chattanooga. So that meant a lot to me that she's seen a bunch of people and she trusted me to do it. But she came in and she was like, here's my property. This is what I want. This is my square footage. This is, I want master on the main, office up in the front because she can work from home. And this was one of those where I drew up the floor plan from scratch.
Wow. It's beautiful.
Sometimes people come in with PDFs of like something they found off of Pinterest or, whatever. And they're like, hey, like move the master around or like switch this around or whatever. But this was literally, she's like, I don't know what to tell you. This is what I got. And so I created it literally
That's
from
great.
scratch,
And can you describe for those who are listening what we are looking at?
So this is a Tudor styled brick home. I love the bump outs that it has on the front and all of like the bricks around and the beautiful archway. It just really like pulls it all in together. But Tudor is definitely, I mean, I don't know if you've looked at all my stuff on my website, but Tudor is definitely the style that I tend to draw towards the most. I feel like now people are coming back with a more like modern Tudor. And I'm obsessed with it.
Making it more a 2021 style.
Yeah.
But you're still bringing back the classic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Bringing back the love of like brick and the masonry type of feel and like that warm cottagey kind of, feel to a house.
Okay.
I just love it.
All right. We got another one. And that's got a 3-car garage. This person has a lot of cars or a lot of storage.
Yes. This was for another builder, and this was actually a spec house. So what he had he had one floor plan, and he was like, hey, Briana, I need you to come up with another exterior for it. And at first, what I did was I literally drew on my iPad just a picture of what I thought the new front should look like. And he was like, I love this so much. Please redo the whole entire plan. So,
that's a great opportunity.
I mean, it was really cool. I don't do that a lot. So the fact that he loved what I drew and he was like, all right, the project's yours. And I was like, okay.
Cool. All right, go ahead and switch that over. Okay.
Yes, this is one of my favorite builders to work with in Chattanooga, Lauren and Josh Barr. They are a young husband and wife. They are so much fun, but they are definitely one of those that they have like these one-off lots, and they will tell me, hey, Briana, we love this floor plan. Like, let's tweak it a little bit, and they will give me this front, and then, we will create it to make it work. So.
Okay. Ooh, and this one looks very modern.
Yes. Okay. So I love it when people
come
to me. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it moves. I love when people come to me and they're like, I don't know if like this is your style or whatnot. I love it when people give me a challenge.
Okay.
Something that's not what I'm typically used to doing. So this is totally mid-century modern. This is actually my personal realtor's new house.
What? You designed your personal realtor's house?
I did. Yeah.
Wait, that's a little ironic.
Yeah, he trusted me. And he was like, Briana, I've seen what you can do. Like let's see what we can do with it. So him and his wife actually had this like very unique floor plan, and we tweaked it and moved it and connected all the rooms that they wanted to. And then he was like, all right, the challenge is the exterior, and he wanted to go in one direction with it. And I was like, okay, this is not jiving, please trust me. And so I just did it, and I sent it back to him, and he was like, I love it. So.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Those are beautiful designs, and obviously we know you do great work. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
So obviously we know that this area here in the Tennessee Valley is exploding with homes left and right. There's a lot of production going on. Keeping the whole thing in line is quite a challenge, and looking for that custom home may get people feeling a bit concerned or anxious. I got to find that home, and what about my dream home? Is it even out there? And of course, that's where you and your company and anyone like you comes in. So making that dream into a reality. So can you go ahead and address that process, what it looks like going and building a floor plan? How do people even approach and broach that subject?
Start that. Yeah, so I would say what you do need to start with is either finding a builder who's going to build it, a contractor, whatnot, finding your lot first, because it's very important before we even start
clean
the design.
Slate?
Well, not even necessarily a clean slate. If you want to do a remodel, that's fine. But if we're doing new construction, having that lot and knowing what size we have to deal with, because sometimes, as you see, like that last one, it was like a shotgun style. So I can't build a wide house on a skinny lot. So knowing what your lot size looks like first, that's where to start. And then from there, if you either go through a builder or you can just contact me. I have so many one-off people who just reach out to me, and I drop their floor plans, and I don't really care who their builder is. They can go find whoever, but then they'll come to me and they'll say, hey, Briana, here's what I'm looking at. I've been looking at Pinterest or Houzz or, whatever it is. And either they show me a floor plan or they're like, hey, I just have to have the master connecting to the bathroom, connecting to the closet, connecting to the laundry room. And we just, we work in with whatever you've got, and I will then put it into Revit, which is the program I draw in, which is what you saw earlier. And as soon as
it's very clean looking too. It doesn't look super busy. This is exactly what it looks like broken down too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I love working in Revit, but I love being able to, we share our screen in like Google Meets, and I love being able to do like those 3D spins. I can do that on the computer for clients, like if they're just wanting to look at it more than just like a 2D piece of paper that I'm going to give you. So yeah, so once we then design the floor plan, then we start working on the exteriors and we nail that down. People send me like 50 pictures and I'm like, the more you send me, the better, because then I know what's like to push and pull on all of these bump outs and like the walls and the windows and stuff like that, and like what needs to be, the focal feature. And so that's what I'm constantly thinking of in my head. And when I just scroll through all your pictures, I'm like, that's it. That's what we need to use here. And so that just, it works out more the better. And then once we're done, we finalize these plans and you're like, these are good to go. I will send you a complete construction document set. So fully dimensioned foundation plan, roof lines, even a site plan if you want to. We can do an electrical plan. And then, you just hand it off to your builder.
How long does that process usually take? Because it sounds like a lot, just to be honest. Like I know in your mind, you're like, we got this. But for someone who may have never done this before, it does sound a little overwhelming.
Yeah. So I think the more homework that you do on the front end of like knowing, hey, I want a 2,500 square foot home. I want a 4,000 square foot home. I want a single level. I want a 2-story. Having those like figured out before you come to us, just those little things, it just helps the process go much smoother.
Okay.
And I would say once we have our meeting, we could get you, floor plans, just like the prelim back in like two weeks maybe.
Okay.
And then just the tweaking back and forth, however much you want to tweak, that's what takes a lot of time, the back and forth.
Sure.
And so right now we're looking at about 6 to 8 weeks of you having a complete construction document set. So don't wait till the last minute. That's my, like, if you're like, oh, we're about to close on this and we're gonna start breaking ground in 2 weeks. No, don't do that.
She needs
don't do that.
A little bit more time than that to make your dream home.
Yes, we want to plan appropriately to make all your dreams come true and you to not waste any money. That is my goal.
That is a great goal.
It is a goal.
Not wasting money. So the money can go towards other things that are going to make that custom home their dream home.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to plan all of that out. I want everything laid out for you. So if there's anything that you want, I will put it in your plans, detail it all out. So there's no confusion.
That's amazing. So is there anything that's unique about what Wilder Roots Designs does, or companies like yours, in that specific process of figuring out a floor plan that you would say people need to be prepared about?
I don't know if it's that they need to be prepared about it. I think what makes us unique is like what I was saying earlier is like we build in Revit. So we build in 3D. So it's not like AutoCAD where you're building 2D and it's just lines. Like I'm literally building a model. So like those 3Ds that you see, those aren't just like created after I'm done. Like that's how I build. I really most of the time build in 3D. Sometimes I build like on the floor plan itself, but most of the time I'm really looking at every angle of this house, so I can foresee what it's going to look like on all directions, which I think a lot of people lack when it's just the 2D AutoCAD.
Sure.
Because sometimes
you can't see what it actually will
certain things.
Build out to be.
And we can also do interior 3Ds as well. So like if people are like, oh, can you walk me through the space? I'm like, okay, well here's a 3D of your kitchen, and we can like see how your cabinets are laid out. If you want, floating shelves, anything like that, or like vaulted ceilings with beams on it, or how your fireplace is going to look.
It just sounds super dreamy.
Yeah,
I know we keep saying dream home, and it just all makes sense.
It is.
It's super
it's just
dreamy.
Magical. That's what it is. It's magical.
Synonyms. Yes. Love those.
Yeah.
So before, when we were talking about what Wilder Roots Design does, you also explained that you do remodels or even the add-ons to a home or other different types of selection services. Can you address that?
Yes. Okay. So our main thing is doing new construction custom homes, but But we also love a good remodel. Like if you're like, hey, Briana, I need you to come in, tell me all the walls that I can gut, and like, let's reconfigure all this, or we need to add on, we need an extra bedroom. We can definitely do that. So I'll come out, dimension the space myself. I will then throw it into Revit, and then we will then draw whatever space it is that you want to build on. Or if you're wanting to do a remodel, we like for you to partner with a contractor, and they will then come in and tell us, hey, these are the walls you have to keep because they're structural.
Sure.
I'm not a structural engineer, so
makes sense.
Yes,
it's a vital part of the process.
It is really. And then we then will draw around and manipulate all the walls that can move. I always think of it like a big puzzle piece. I love puzzles. So just like making it all work together, it's like
I
the
realized
best thing ever.
During COVID that I actually like puzzles too, and it was an interesting thing to discover about myself. I stayed up all night long putting together puzzles.
Yes, yeah,
but that's really cool.
It's fascinating.
Part of a puzzle for you.
It is, yeah. And we also just hired on another designer literally Monday, and
congratulations!
Yeah, thank you. And she is going to handle clients picking out finishes. So we are talking about countertops, cabinets, paint colors, your hardware, your lighting, anything and everything that's a selection, tile, anything like that. She is going to be helping. So
that's really
we're
cool.
really pumped about that, because before it was just, we were constantly just like drawing, and now we can actually like dive into the finishes, which is, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. So what regional areas do you work in?
Okay, so we're located in Chattanooga right now.
Okay.
We are now expanding to Huntsville. Huntsville is our hometown. So I'm
Tennessee Valley. Come on, bring it in.
I know. I'm really excited about that. Caitlin is another one of my team members, and she actually lives in Atlanta.
Okay.
So we are already
expanding the area.
Yeah. Just growing.
Okay.
So we are expanding to the Atlanta area, and then we are trying to expand to Nashville. So if anybody knows anybody, I just
keep you in mind of that. Yeah,
keep me in mind. Like me and my husband, we went a couple of weeks ago to Nashville, and we were just driving around in Brentwood, and my husband was like, "Babe, this is where it's at," and I'm like, "Yes,
it's beautiful up there." You talk about beautiful homes. Just drive up to Nashville. I mean, we've got great homes here in the Tennessee Valley, and I'm glad you work in this area too.
Yes. Oh, I mean, I am thrilled to be able to bring our business to Huntsville, because it's just, it's where my heart is. So
that's beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Briana, for coming in and talking to us about the home building process and how your company fits into that. So this has been great, of course, specifically floor plans and all the uniqueness of your company. So thank you
so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Anytime. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you in the near future as well.
I hope so.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us in today for My Brand New Homes. We have a hunt for that custom home. If you have that, reach out to a next home agent like Aaron Gibson. You can text the word next search to 855-553-6100. So we are looking forward to, of course, the continual conversation about custom home building. We will, of course, be bringing in a very special guest, Rachel Brown with Rachel Brown Homes, to keep that conversation going for My Brand New Homes. Well, I'm Stephanie Mills with Next Home Kel Mitchell. Till next time.